This video is being recorded on Friday afternoon, August 18th, 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, just going to give a weekly wrap-up of gold and silver and the stocks. It's been a tough month for precious metals so far. Really tough month, actually. Starting off here, we have the gold. This is the December contract. This is the weekly candle chart. Below here, we have silver, the weekly candle chart as well. And then the gold-silver ratio at the bottom, gold divided by silver. And so on this contract, we know that there was I want to say like a $40 pop here that was kind of artificial. So gold closed July, based on this pop, at 2,000, but it really closed at 1959, which was below this resistance here around 1985, this weekly resistance. Immediately after that, the market came down significantly. So even on this chart with that kind of artificial pop, hard selling here. So whether you look at this chart or you look at the spot market, there's just, it's ugly, especially on the monthly chart. There's a bearish engulfing. But anyway, there is some support here around 1900. Of course, there were bullish hammers here, but these came down to the low 1900s. And then you have, I think, the equivalent of the 200-day moving average, which it says 1910 here. I didn't check the daily chart, but 1900. Then you have the 200-day. So gold's getting really oversold. It's coming down to support, looking like it's probably going to bounce next week. And there's more evidence of that when you look at silver and the stocks. Evidence that you should get a bounce. But beyond that, assuming you get a rally here again to, make me look foolish here, let's hope we get a really strong rally above the red line. Don't see that happening. Instead, we're probably, I think the odds favor some kind of a bounce here, a weak rally. Then it rolls over again. Mind this gap here in the 1960s. Then you have this really significant long-term support here filling in on this chart, 1840, 1860. Then on this chart, 1850 is the 50% retracement. So there's a lot of significant support in the mid-1800s. As I've already said, you could also draw a line here, which would show some support, I think, in the low 1800s. So if you look at a monthly chart, you're going to see this is going to stand out on a monthly chart. So beyond the very short term, those are the levels to look at: low 1800s, mid 1800s. Getting down to silver, I already mentioned it's too bad that silver can rally back to 26. But again, 1, 2, 3, some ugly action here. We do have a bit of a bullish hammer. It's not the strongest bullish hammer, but it's more significant because it follows 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of selling. And, it came down here. I didn't check the low of the week, but pretty close to 22, which, 22 has been a key level for a while. So, again, looking like, and by the way, silver, if you look at the daily chart, silver was bottoming this week, whereas gold kept selling down. So in the very short term, that's another good sign if you see silver showing more strength than gold, especially when it comes after a short-term decline. So that's a good bullish indicator for next week. This is the equivalent to the 200-day, and silver has broken that. If for a real bullish outlook, you had the rebound here, came a little bit below rebound here. A real bullish outlook would have been, boom, a nice rebound off that up to 26 and through. But it's broken below 26, so there's no, based on that, there's no significant uptrend here anymore. So back to 22, probably going to see a bounce here. Moving further out, if you look at a monthly chart, you can look at my editorial posted yesterday on TheDailyGold.com, right around 2050, going back a really long time, weekly, monthly charts, I think even quarterly charts. This $20 is a real key level. So mind that moving forward. The gold-silver ratio here, again, you probably can go back and pick out some videos. Maybe I was looking at the daily chart or even this weekly chart, but you had a breakdown here where it looked like, we're going to get this inflationary phase. We still could, but we're going to get this inflationary phase. Silver is going to lead gold. We'll see. At this point, I don't think that's going to happen. You know, I mean, you do have oil and gas, but you know, other than that, there's really no inflationary pressure. I mean, there's long-term inflationary issues, but you know, and I'm talking statistically, so you don't have to bring all that up. But nevertheless, as far as this ratio, maybe we get this short-term rebound in the sector. You come down here, and then maybe we bounce off the trend line when there's more selling down to those other targets. So, getting into the stocks, I wish I didn't have to say this, but I mean, these are some ugly-looking charts. I mean, these charts got ugly real quickly, and at earlier points this year, I mean, we had a bullish bread thrust here. We had a positive advanced decline line divergence. So it just, when you have these bullish signals that are legitimate bullish signals, when you're dealing with the advanced decline line, I mean, that's the holy grail of leading indicators. And just immediate failures, that's just not good. So, I mean, there were technical reasons to be bullish, but it's just completely fallen on its face. And now you can see here, especially down here, this kind of looks mountainous. I love mountains. I love, hiking and spending time in the mountains, especially in summer. But when you see these things on charts, it's not good. You want to see reverse mountains on charts, which who knows, maybe we'll start to see that after this sell-off, over the next couple of quarters. But again, you have these mountains here. It's just distribution. It's not good. And look, boom, you can see the heavy selling in the last 2 or 3 weeks, just ugly candles. You do have some support here at 27. That's 1 or 2% lower for GDX. So coming down close to support. Same thing for GDXJ, right around 32. I mean, it closed at 33.30. SILJ, I mean, the silver stocks they're leading the way down. You can see here. Because this today was trading at, what is that? November, 7, 8, 9 month low. So silver stocks are leading the way down. I mean, here you can see the failures of the 200-day. But all that being said, yes, the medium term looks really ugly. But look, we're very oversold in the short term. And bullish hammer here, bullish hammer here. So those are legit bullish hammers. So medium term, yes, it looks ugly, but we're probably going to see a rally next week. So, hopefully I'm wrong and this is a major bottom and we get a huge amount of traction, but I'm just not seeing it yet. So that was a quick look at the technicals. Bottom line, medium term, expect more downside, but, I think the odds favor a rebound over the next week. The path of least resistance is going to be higher. That's it for this video. Thanks for listening to me. Really appreciate it. Talk to you guys again next week.